Hi bowl bakers! Today I am embracing big dishes. I am going to show you how you can make a Chicago style deep dish pizza big enough to feed an entire family. And for dessert, an enormous cinnamon roll made in a skillet. Now the reason that you're getting two videos today is thanks to my partnership with Good Cook. So after this video, I want you to go over to the Good Cook page, follow them and check out how you can make that cinnamon roll. As always, the recipe can be found on biggerbolderbaking.com along with all of the information about the Good Cook's tools that I use. Okay, we're going to start out by making our dough on a stand mixer. Into a bowl, we're going to add in our flour, cornmeal for nice texture, salt, sugar, and then our yeast. Now our yeast we're going to put on the other side of the bowl away from the salt because you don't want to lay them directly on top of each other. So the other side of the bowl is totally fine. And then we're just going to turn on our machine and just let these mix up together really quickly. Okay, so it's been a few seconds, that's all nice and mixed up together. So here I have some water. Now you want water to be blood temperature when you're making doughs and bread. So the way you test that is you don't need a thermometer. You put your finger into the water and if it's just warm or you can barely feel it around your finger, that means it's blood temperature, so it's perfect. Now into our water, we're going to add in some olive oil. So now turn your machine back on to like a medium speed and we're going to add in our liquid. Now, when you are making pizza dough, cinnamon rolls, whatever it is, always hold back a little bit of the liquid because you might not need it all or you might need a little bit extra. So just keep an eye on your dough and make a good judgment call of what you think you need. And then soon you'll see your dough come together in a ball like this. When it cleans the bottom of the bowl and it's all forming into one ball, that's what we're looking for. So now what you want to do is leave this on a medium speed or so and let it knead for around 6 to 8 minutes and the gluten will develop. So we're just going to let this do its thing. So now in case you're wondering, this dough could be used for a regular thin pizza as well. That's totally fine. There's not a huge amount of difference between this and say a thin crust pizza. The thing about this is that it is a little bit crisper with the cornmeal and everything and it has a little bit of a different texture. It's not as fluffy, but really, really good. Okay, so time is up. It's been 8 minutes. The dough is looking good. Now I'm going to take it off the machine. So here's my dough. It looks lovely. I have a nice big bowl here that I'm going to proof it in. So what I'm going to do is just put my dough in there. I have a little drop of olive oil that I'm going to pour into my bowl. And then just coat your dough and the bowl with the olive oil. This helps because when you're proofing the dough, it will just rise up so much easier. It won't strain your dough. One very important thing when it comes to making doughs is to keep it nice and snug. So we're going to cover it in cling wrap to keep the air off it because it likes to be nice and warm. And then I'm going to put a tea towel on top just to make it extra nice and warm. Now what we want to do is just set this aside at room temperature for roughly an hour and a half to 2 hours until it doubles in size. So now to make this pizza, you need the right pan. So here I have a Good Cook non-stick double-sided deep dish pizza pan. Now, what do I mean by double-sided? Well, here we're going to make Chicago style pizza like we're doing today. But when you think to yourself, maybe I don't like Chicago style pizza, maybe I'm more of a thin and crispy kind of a person. Boom, right there. Turn it over and you can make a thin and crispy pizza on the other side. And because of the base, it gets really lovely and crisp. I love products that have a dual purpose and this is one of them. So I'm just going to set it over to the side and we're just going to have a little look at our dough and roll it out. So our dough is lovely and bubbly. This is exactly what I want. So I'm just going to turn it out onto a floured surface. Look at that. I love making doughs because it's such a slow process and you get to do it step by step by step and you have to follow everything exactly and it's just a really fun thing to do. So there we go. Now, I'm going to take a rolling pin and you want to roll a big pizza. You're talking 16 inches by 16 inches because our pan is 14. So we're making a big pizza here. Try and make it as round as you can. Now, the thing about working with doughs is sometimes if you feel your dough is pulling back too much while you're trying to roll it, take a step back, let it sit for around 10-15 minutes, let it relax and then go back and try and roll it again. You'll find it so much easier. So this is the right size. Now what you want to do when you're moving a big piece of dough like this is just roll it up onto your rolling pin. It just makes it so much easier to move and then lay it into your dish. Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to do is just pull the dough over the edges. It's a nice flexible dough, so just work with it a little bit, give it a little bit of a squeeze and then just pull it over the rim. Let the dough hang over the edge a little bit in case it shrinks during baking. Okay, that's it, that's our base. Now we're gonna get to my favorite part, which is the filling. So now, if you've been to Chicago and had a true Chicago style pizza, you'll know that they have every single topping and cheese imaginable in there. They don't hold back, they go all for it. And that's what I'm gonna do today. Here I have all of my pizza toppings, and I am just going to start to layer them into the pizza. So I'm starting out with my sauce. So you are going to need a lot of sauce for this pizza, and you're going to be real generous with it. I have a recipe for really easy pizza sauce on my website. It's super easy to make, 5 minutes in a blender, makes really good sauce. There we go, lovely. Next, I am going to add some cheese. You can use whatever cheese you like, mozzarella, fontina, anything at all. Something that's nice and stringy. As you can see, I'm very generous with my cheese. Perfect. Now here I have some roasted peppers. I roast them off before because it makes them nice and sweet and really nice to eat. Scatter a few of those on top. I have some cooked off mushrooms here, one of my favorite things to have on a pizza. I have some black olives, quintessential on a pizza. There's something about them that's kind of nostalgic, some sliced black olives. And then pepperoni, because in my opinion, you cannot have pizza without pepperoni. But honestly, feel free to put on any toppings that you like. Gorgeous. Now I'm going to repeat what I just did and add on more sauce, more cheese, and more toppings. So once all your toppings are on there, I'm just going to grab a scissors, or you can use a knife, and just go around and trim the pizza, just so you have a nice finish to the top of it. Lovely. Look at this giant pizza. No joke, this must weigh, I'd say, around 5 pounds. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely incredible. So we are going to pop this now into a nice hot oven and bake it off. Bake your pizza off at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 210 degrees Celsius for roughly 45 to 55 minutes, or until lovely and golden brown. 45 minutes later, and this is what I have. An amazing, super heavy Chicago style pizza. I can't wait to cut this. I know my pizza's done because my crust is nice and crispy and my toppings are really golden brown. So I have my pizza cutter, and to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure that this guy is big enough to go through this pizza, but we're gonna find out. Sometimes I think I surprise myself, and I have to say that this is like a legit pizza. The base is nice and thick, which is what you want. It has a nice texture from the cornmeal, and then layers of tomato, toppings, cheese. Oh my gosh. Without a doubt, you're gonna have to try this. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, but there's even more, so make sure you go over to the Good Cook page and check out my giant cinnamon roll recipe. I'll see you back here really soon for more bigger, bolder baking.